sometimes when people, when Baalei Tshuva especially, have this issue, where they want everybody to do tshuva also with them. And as soon as they see that other people are not listening to them, they're not listening to them, they get upset. And they start losing their mind. They start getting angry. They start cursing. They start yelling. They start doing things that are not according to the Torah, meaning they start using their own personal opinion. Now, Rabotai, we have a problem. Why? Because the zealous state of mind, zealousness, without the instructions of the Torah, is 100% arrogance. That has nothing to do with Torah. So don't tell me you're zealous for the sake of Torah if you're yelling at people for no reason. Even if you have a reason. If your yelling doesn't have a Torah source for it, you're not allowed to do it. So anyone that is trying to help people do tshuva, if you're getting angry, stop. You're not helping. You have to do tshuva. You have to do tshuva. You have to stop being angry. If you're getting angry helping people, don't help yourself first. Bebet. You have to help yourself. Because once you're angry, no one's going to listen to you. And to understand what it means, what anger could actually lead a person to do, one of the big Mizakeh Rabbim in Israel, Rav Grossman, I believe, he visited him. I think it's him. I may be wrong with the name again. I'm not very good at names. But I believe it's him. He went to visit somebody in jail. When he would go to jail and visit people. And one time he visited a specific person, and he sees the guy, calm, collected, religious, learns Torah in his cell. Really nice, mamash, amazing guy. You look at the guy, he's like, he doesn't belong here. He doesn't belong here. He's a religious, nice guy, good midot, happy. Wow. He looks at his rap sheet. The guy committed murder of his best friend on Yom Kippur. On Yom Kippur. You look at the guy, you look at the rap sheet, they don't match. They don't match. It's like the guy is a little mini Moshe Rabbeinu, and here you have Hitler. How could it be? He goes to visit him, he sits next to him, and he tries to get to know the person. Maybe the person's crazy, maybe this, maybe that. After a while, the cellmate says, you're probably asking yourself, how could it be that I killed somebody on Yom Kippur? He said, no, yeah, no, you could tell, you could say it, yeah. He says, I've been religious for a while. And during that time, on Yom Kippur one day, we went to synagogue, we prayed. And then there was a break for a couple of hours between the prayers. It's a long day, but you have a break usually for like an hour and a half, 2 hours in the afternoon. So my friend and I went to my house. And we're just, he said, if we're going to go to sleep, probably going to miss prayer, so let's just talk. We started talking, debated about some nonsense issue. We started disagreeing. One thing led to another. He started really getting me angry. I went into my room, I took the gun and I shot him. This was my best friend, Kol Harav. I haven't stopped regretting that day. But at the moment of anger, when the Torah says, the Ramban writes in Igeret HaRamban, that when a person gets angry, all of Gehenom take control over him, he says, I saw it. When I let myself get so angry, mamash, I lost self-control, I went, I took the gun, I killed my friend. And I've been trying to do tshuva for it ever since. Meaning that when a person gets angry, the Torah, the Gemara specifically says, Kol midei Gehenom sholtin bo. All types of Gehenom take control over him. Why? Because all of these sins that he's made throughout the years, they all gather on top of him, and they push him to go a step further, say another word, say another curse, make another thing, push. Yeah, he loses his mind. Loses his mind.
Why does the Shulchan Aruch say that a little bit of anger at certain points is good?
Depends for the reason. Depends for the reason.
Seems like you're saying we shouldn't have any.
There's a time and a place to have it. There's a time and every person is going to have anger. There's no such thing as a person with no anger. Even Moshe Rabbeinu had anger. But a righteous person is going to know how to use that anger for the sake of Hashem. So, for example, when he sees a person that's a mechalel Shabbat, he's going to get angry to the point of using that anger to tell that person something. Not get angry and go beat up the guy or throw a rock at him. But meaning get angry at the situation and no one has done anything about it until now and go do it and become the person. Makom she'en ish tishtadel liot ish. Become zealous for the sake of Hashem. At the right time, not just any time. But again, anger itself is one of the things that a person needs to control more than anything else. Because if he lets the anger get out of control, it's 100% sin. So anger you're going to have. Now, the question is how to control it. How do you control this anger that you're going to get anyway? How do you use it for the right thing? You need that fire is necessary. If you see somebody teaching Torah that's against Hashem, if it doesn't get you angry, then you're most likely dead. You should check your pulse. You should check your pulse. If you see that someone is teaching Christianity, if you see someone is teaching things that are against the Torah, if you see somebody that's committing open sins against the Torah, like being one of these gay parades, or anything like that, and that stuff doesn't get you angry, you have to check your pulse if you're still alive. If you're still alive. So of course you're going to get angry on it. But it doesn't mean that you're going to go out there and start shooting people. It doesn't mean you're going to start yelling and screaming. So there's a few things that a person needs to know. Getting angry at the situation is allowed as long as you're going to do something good about it. What's good? You saw a bunch of people making a gay parade. What are you going to do? You're going to actually have a shiur to teach people why the Torah says it's not allowed to have a gay parade. Meaning that anger is to create enough fire in you, enough zealousness in you, that you're going to do something about it that's positive in the name of Hashem. If you see somebody teaching Christianity, let's say, or some other form of avodah zarah, you're going to go and become an anti-missionary. And you're going to fight the shekel by exposing them, by showing these people are teaching lies, that it's against the Torah, and so on and so forth. Meaning, you're going to use that fire that you get from anger for a positive purpose. But, if that fire gets out of control, then we have a problem. So now, how do you know that fire is out of control? If your behavior after you got angry has led you to curse, if your behavior has led you to curse, using some type of derogatory language that's curse word, your anger is now officially out of control. Out of control. Why? The Chachamim teaches in the Gemara that if a person was decreed in Shemaim for 70 years of good, meaning a whole life of good, a single curse could cancel it all out. A single curse.
English curse or
Curse. Doesn't say English or French or Aramaic or Hebrew, any curse word.
English curse words aren't really curse words. They're just like
Why are they not curse words?
Disgusting word. Not really like you're not really cursing somebody out when you say it.
I don't understand.
Like when you say like four-letter word, they're not really cursing somebody.
It's a curse.
Just dirty words.
Dirty word is a curse. Yeah, same thing. Same thing. Four-letter word is a curse. It's a curse. It's disgusting. If you understand, the more you understand what it means, the more you understand how much you're disrespecting the creation and the creator. It's the mouth of a Jew should never have like a single curse come out of his mouth. And trust me, this is more difficult for me than for most people because most of my life I thought exactly what you're saying, which is that it's describing, it's the way I talk, it's the way this, it's normal, everybody says it, it's just this, it's just that. Nonsense. Nonsense. Civilized people do not curse. You do not see successful people in life curse. Unless they're obnoxious and disgusting human beings. Which in that case, we're not measuring ourselves to them. We're measuring ourselves against the Torah Hashem. So a Jewish person should never curse. No one should ever curse, but the point is, if your anger has led you to say the four-letter word, or one of these disgusting words, then you know already officially your anger is now out of control. If your anger has led you to become violent, either with another person, or against yourself, or against an object. You take a piece of something, you throw it. You take a rock, you take a piece of plastic, a pen, a wall, you punch something. You've become violent, your anger is out of control. Your anger is out of control. You have a problem. If your anger has gotten to the point where you decide that the only way for you to get relief is by publicly embarrassing the other party, your anger is not only out of control, so is your olam haba. Because the Torah says, "Amalbin pnei chavero berabim, en lo chelek le'olam haba." A person that publicly embarrasses another one has no share of the world to come. So here we see that anger can easily be something that a person loses their olam haba on. It's not a big deal. It's a big deal. And each one of the examples that I gave you are everyday habits that people have. Embarrassing people in public, cursing, yelling, throwing stuff. These are things that people do every day. I know I did. So now how do you stop yourself? That's the question. What's your question?
What about the opinion of the Gemara in Megillah 23 or 24 when it says that you're allowed to tell to an idol worshiper to take his idol and put it in his cheek cap? That's essentially using
You're allowed to take an idol and break it over him?
put it off his
Put it on his what?
chin cap.
Okay. Okay, but that's, again, it's a different situation. Today we're not allowed to do such things because they'll kill us. We're not the majority. But yeah, but there is a Gemara, there is a teaching that the desecration of an idol is a mitzvah. The desecration of an idol is a mitzvah to such an extent that the first person that's mentioned in the Torah that was called a Jew, a Yehudi, was Mordechai. Why was Mordechai called a Yehudi? Because the Gemara in Masechet Megillah says is because he actively went against Avodah Zarah. And anyone that actively goes against Avodah Zarah is called a real Jew. So there's a special condition here when it comes to desecrating and making fun, mocking, all types of Avodah Zarah. This is something it's Kiddush Hashem. It's a mitzvah. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody seeing a Jew doing something he doesn't like, or saying something he doesn't like, and instead of telling him to stop or talking to him in a civilized way, he decides to take the first thing that he can grab and smash it on his head, or he decides to curse him out, or he decides to publicly embarrass him. Like for example, there's one person that says he used to watch my shiurim, and I don't think he's watching my shiurim right now because he wouldn't be doing this if he was. Even the walls are doing tshuva, Baruch Hashem. So I don't think you can watch the shiurim on a weekly basis and not do tshuva. But apparently he decided that he disagreed with some local rabbi that he was attending a shul. He disagreed with him on something. Not that the rabbi was teaching things against the Torah, but because the rabbi was not saying enough about the people that weren't observing all of the mitzvot. He wasn't saying enough. So he decided to publicly embarrass the rabbi in front of everyone. And he thinks this is a mitzvah. He thinks that he's right. He wants to, he thinks he wants my support. I want him to watch my shiurim. So, when a person is exercising his zealousness with a sin, such as he's cursing people out, he's mocking them in public, in a profane and disgusting way, he's intentionally going against the person instead of against the sin, meaning hate the sin, not the sinner, then we have a problem. Then in reality, your zealousness is not zealousness for Hashem. Your zealousness is just an excuse to practice arrogance. It's not a mitzvah. It's not a mitzvah at all. You're not helping anyone. All you're doing is you're just making people disgusted by the Torah because they think you have it. So you're becoming a chilul Hashem. In reality, you haven't learned anything. And your tshuva is fake. And you're a faker. That's really what it is. If you're yelling at people and cursing them out and angry at them and so on and so forth, you're doing everything we just said, it was better off you never did tshuva.